Hi, and welcome back to Movie to Blender's Vlog Reviews. This time, I'm reviewing Hansel and Gretel, Witch Hunters. Ingredients. If you liked the effects of Starlight, the action of Van Helsing, and the campiness of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, 1992, then you will like this movie. When I first heard about this flick, I immediately started thinking of The Brothers Grimm, starring Matt Damon and the late Heath Ledger. It too was a reimagining of popular fairy tales with a darker spin, and it was laughably bad. So I didn't have much hope for Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters to begin with. But I'm happy to say that this flick is no Brothers Grimm, despite them both featuring Peter Stormare. Seriously, that can't just be a coincidence. But let's get right to what this movie is about. Two German orphans killing a whole lot of witches. I say German, but that's not really important, as no one even bothers attempting a German accent. We follow the now adult Hansel and Gretel, as played by Jeremy Renner and Gemma Arterton, now that they have become legends in the witch hunting community due to their already established childhood beginnings and their well-honed witch-slaying skills. What was supposed to be a routine witch hunt soon turns into something more dire, as the pair uncover the diabolical plans of the High Witch Muriel, as played by Femke Janssen, and unearth the secrets to their own buried past. The film doesn't skip out on the brutal action, as Hansel and Gretel shoot, decapitate, and burn their way through every witch they see. Unlike other reimaginings of Monster Hunter flicks, Hansel and Gretel goes for the R rating when it comes to the gore and language, and the movie makes it a clear point of removing any gray area about the witches they are dispatching. Every evil witch is shown as a horrendous creature that has long ago given up everything that made it remotely human, and the costumes are very top-notch. It's a shame that the movie doesn't explore the various types of witches in more depth, as the makeup art is some of the most impressive I've seen in a long time. The story is pretty thin, but then again, they are making a feature-length movie out of a children's fable. The movie seems to be really betting on the novelty of the story and the star power to bring in the viewers, letting the plot take a back seat. And it shows. There are a few incomplete plot points that really don't factor into the film as a whole. Early on, it's established that Hansel suffers from diabetes due to the witch shoveling sweets down his throat when he was younger, and now he has to inject himself every day to keep from crashing. Did I mention this movie's not too concerned with historical accuracy? So you'd think that this is setting up his condition to play a big role later on in the film, but it's quickly skimmed over and doesn't amount to much. Jeremy Renner seems to be having a lot of fun with this role and gives the film some much-needed enthusiasm. The Hansel character has no shortage of snappy one-liners and usually takes the big hits. He's by far got the most personality going on and steals the show when he's on screen. The same can't be said about Gemma Arterton or Femke Janssen. Arterton doesn't have much expression beyond the tough-as-nails tomboy persona, and Janssen lays the overacting on pretty strong. The few scenes these two have together by far felt like some of the longest, and I was happy just to see anyone else enter frame. Peter Stormare doesn't get a lot to do with his role as the morally questionable town sheriff either. Personally, I think Stormare could be extremely entertaining when the director just lets him loose on screen, but here his part felt small and unnecessary. Overall, it was an enjoyable watch, but an unnecessary one. If you like seeing fairy tale characters laying the hurt on some supernatural beings using increasingly implausible weaponry, then you might enjoy this movie. Though I would recommend it as a rental at most. Until next time, I'm Darren from Movie to Blender.